Okay, hello guys. This is going to be my first video I've done in a long time. I've been really busy, I went through a lot of stress, and all of that doesn't really matter. What's important is I've decided I really need to start getting back into this. So I thought I'd come back with another kind of game that's right up my alley. Another indie game. Now this is an indie roguelike known as Renowned Explorers. This is a game where it's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure roguelike, but the decisions you make aren't quite as drastic. It's a bit of a role-playing game as well. There's a lot of stats, you get to slightly customize everything, and I think I'll just get right into it. So there are two modes here, Discovery Mode and Adventure Mode. Discovery Mode is basically, I want to read the story, you can't fail, you can retry as much as you like. Adventure Mode is the real difficulty of the game in my opinion. These are difficulties where you can actually fail as if it's a real roguelike game. So, I'm going to be playing on the recommended difficulty, which is Classic. Original difficulty, it's hard, requires quite some mastery to beat, and you need to be prepared to face bosses or risk losing. You will need a few tries to succeed. Sorry for that, I had a bit of something in my throat. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. Now, I think I'm going to go with a party that I've already gone with in this game. I've played this a few times, so I'm just going to skip over the tutorial. I'm going to go with her, which I've unlocked as a leader, and then I'm going to go with Kiwi. Now, I think I'll explain something while I'm here. Well, right after I choose the last character, which is Yvonne. If I can find... There she is. Okay, so this is a very interesting game in that it doesn't revolve around just killing one another. It is... All combats have multiple ways of resolving the fights. And I think the best way to show that would be to go through the tutorial. So I'm just going to do that, and if you want to skip over it, you can. But the tutorial is actually pretty fun to play. Okay, this is it. You just got your Renowned Explorers International Society membership. Agatha wants to make a big entrance and goes for an elusive treasure, a Viking ship. Rumors are that a boat belonging to the famous explorer Leif Erikson is somewhere on this forgotten island. So let's go through the tutorial. If this is your first time playing, you may want to familiarize yourself with some key concepts in Renowned Explorers before venturing into the unknown. A local Highlander volunteers to help if you want. Okay, let's go over the moods during encounters, because I think this is going to be the best thing to show you, and then we can get right into it. Okay, so I'm going to skip over some of the things the tutorial says and explain it on my own, just for the sake of time, because I'm pressed for time in these videos. Okay, so these are the 3 ways you can finish each mission. All characters are better at doing one certain method, but it's also a bit like rock, paper, scissors in that if someone's aggressive to you, say their mood is aggressive to me, which you will see over here, they are actually friendly, but if they were aggressive, that is easily countered by me being friendly. No, devious, sorry. And they are friendly right now, so they become weaker if I'm aggressive, but they become stronger if I am devious. This is a bit awkward because my team is actually specializing in deviousness. Their stats, like speech, which is rather well, it's mainly the stat for devious attacks, as you can see here. 100% times speech for her Saturn, which is her devious move. Okay, every crew member has different specialties, look at the abilities of the other crew members, blah blah blah. I'm just going to get right into this. What are you wanting me to do? Okay, no, I just had to wait. That's kind of annoying. You influence the mood of the encounter through your attitude. Okay, so what they mean is, if I use a move that's devious, so Saturn, the mood would instantly become devious, yeah. And after that point, I would need to do a different mooded move multiple times to change the mood again, which could be to my disadvantage. So in this encounter I would actually want to play as aggressive, but all of my members are actually terrible at being aggressive. Their attack stats are very low, they're very weak. So, you might have noticed all my characters are different classes. That's not too important, there are 4 classes. The Fighter, the Scientist, this is a Scientist, I believe she is a Speaker, and a Scout. Okay, so I'm going to resolve my turn here and they'll do their turn. There's actually a bug just flying around me and it's driving me absolutely crazy. Okay, so they moved in a bit closer, which means I'm going to take the Remember, I have that can run the furthest, get behind them, so there's a lot of space for my other teammates, and just resolve it with Devious. This will make them stronger, but it is the tutorial, so I think I can just one-shot them anyway. I just wanted to show you how the game works. And mood causes blah blah blah. Okay, so as you can see, because I chose to be Devious while they're friendly, which gives me the disadvantage, I got 30 minus 30 speech defense. So all of my characters have very low speech defense, so if they do a friendly attack, they will very likely kill me. I didn't mean to resolve my turn. I don't know if the game did it for me, or if I actually just accidentally ended my turn. Either way, let me just kill him and get on to the real gameplay. Okay, there we go. That's done. Now, I'm going to clear this one stage, and then I'm going to end the episode and start maybe recording the next one already and getting that up. It's going to take a while to get all the episodes up because I have terrible internet, but okay. I already know how to lead expeditions. Let's get this thing going. Okay, everyone is a little bit nervous, blah blah blah, and they tell you about Resolve. Resolve is this up here. Now, in this game, there's no permadeath. Well, there is, but not in the way you would normally think. If my characters die, I lose one Resolve, and that character stands there fainted. I can revive them even during combat, but it requires a turn. Now, the catch is, if my resolve reaches 0, even if all of my members are alive in the fight, I lose. My run is instantly ended and I can no longer continue. I then need to start a new game. So you want to avoid dying as much as possible, and some trials can cause you to fail too. So as you saw, I can go in multiple directions, so I chose the one with the most stuff in it. The crew comes to an old book, hidden in an abandoned chest. Written inside are many poems describing local folklore. Interesting, and it will surely help you speak more poetically. Agatha sees there is more to the book than meets the eye. So she got this blue writing because she has the archaeologist perk, which helps her in this one particular encounter I found. So I'm going to do it, and what she found is scribbled on the book inside are notes about Viking history, never written down before. This is the most intriguing find. Blue means science, so I'm probably going to get a lot of science. That's why you take an archaeologist with you. So I got 2 campaign and 3 study. When I leave this area, which is done by completing it, by going to the purple area and beating the combat there, these turn into what is displayed here, status and a lot of other coins that I'll explain later. Now when you look at where you want to go, these little tokens also explain what is there, so this is a cultural challenge. This bug is going to drive me absolutely crazy. You find a local merchant who wants to trade indigenous trinkets with you. Making deals with influential locals can increase your status, and be profitable to both. However, anger the merchant and you're left with nothing. So, these are my chances to basically befriend this merchant, or rather negotiate in a positive way, and they're not very good. All characters have different chances based on what stats they have, what perks you've chosen for them. Okay, so if I fail, there's not much risk here. You can see there's a larger chance to fail, but all it does is anger the merchant and I won't get anything. So I'm just going to go for that chance, and it looks like it paid off. RE means you won, Renowned Explorers, or the skull means you lose. You strike a hard bargain, but you got yourself a deal. You're quite a well-spoken traveler. You gain some profits and status. So, I just basically passed a check which gave me some free items. I could go here for an encounter, which means there'll probably be a fight there, or I can go here for a different encounter and get closer towards the end goal, so I think I'm going to do that. None of the tiles around me are too interesting. You find something peculiar, a note scribbled on a wooden slab. Agatha picks it up to take a closer look. The meaning seems to be very cryptic. You don't really understand it. Try to decipher it. You try investigating the slab when a group of mean locals pass by. They very clearly don't like you being around. What are you doing on our island? You must be here to steal our puffins. Better get away. You're annoying. They're annoying, but their local knowledge might be useful in deciphering the cryptic slab. Okay, so that means if I resolve this in a friendly way, they'll probably help me. And if I finish this in any other way... Anyway, this is showing me if I gain any extra tokens if I resolve it in a separate way. So if I resolve this deviously, which I'm the best at, I will get that kind of token. Okay, so they're also devious, which means there's not much loss if I go devious. However, it is not the best. I am actually the best when somebody is aggressive towards me as well. Well, aggressive towards me, and then I choose to be devious and basically break their minds. But I should be able to do this pretty fine. I don't know if the audio balance is alright, but I think it should be. I'm watching it in OBS right now. I used to filter my audio through another means before I finalized it, but it ended up taking so many hours per each video that I think I'm going to try this for a while. So I'm basically just choosing my attacks, and there's something I should actually explain soon. Let me end my turn first. Just a minor gameplay thing that I really should have explained sooner. It's not a very large deal, and I'm sure you were able to get it on your own though. So he's just done his attack, and he fumbled when he did his attack, which basically just means he failed, and he missed me. So when I hover over a character, these yellow are where he will be able to move next turn. When I hover over mine, the blue is where I can run right now. And inside of the red is where each attack's range is. So every attack has its own separate range, which I'm sure most would assume is the case. The game gets a bit loud maybe when she taunts. I might want to look into that. Okay, so let's just cast Terrify. And now I should be able to finish this encounter with her just by saddening him. And this should get me the devious ending, which should give me that extra token. You broke your opponent's minds. Which basically just means I beat them by insulting them. You don't have to kill people in this game. If you attack someone aggressively, they lose... They do technically lose health, but... their health is actually their willpower. So you basically want them to no longer want to fight, regardless of your means. You look at the cryptic stab together, the men just won over share their knowledge of local dialects until you decipher the text. Agatha thinks it reads that hidden somewhere farther away from here there is probably, and now it looks like I can choose what I want. A gemstone sounds the most valuable, so I think I'll go for that. Now that you know where to look, all that remains is to go there. Okay, so this is an X, which means we just figured out that there is what I wanted right here. This is a place where the cryptic stag was pointing towards a treasure. Towards a treasure must be nearby. The crew starts looking until Kiwi finds a small box. Kiwi opens the box and finds a sunstone, which gave me 50 renown. And renown is how well known I am in this world, which is basically your high score in a way. This gave me 1 study whenever a level 2 quick thinker succeeds on an adventure wheel. The adventure wheel is just every time I need to do a % chance. And it gave me 5 collect tokens right now. Remarkable find. Not many can claim they have found something like this in such a strange place. So I have 3 supplies still, and this goes down every time I take a move. So I think I'm going to go down 1 block, since I can still do about 2 moves. I could buy 4... What? That's the most unfair deal I've ever seen. Buy 4 supplies for 7 resolve. I've never even had 7 resolve in the game, and I've made it to the final mission. These prices are outrageous. Negotiate for better items. Akasha gains the diplomat perk. Negotiations. Oh, so the actual means or meaning for this mission is that somebody will gain a negotiations perk. I think it would be best on our scientist. And that's the deal that I usually see. So I just gained a perk out of that. I don't really want 4 supplies, since it's the tutorial mission I won't find much of value. So I'm going to take 1 final move to get some status. Oh, and there's actually supplies here. I am risking it by going here, but I'll show you why in a second. There might be a % chance that I get supplies, but I got lucky and they were just laying on the ground basically. Basically, once you run out of food and you take a move, your characters begin to lose statistics because they're hungry, which makes you drastically worse in combat, which increases your chance of failing. The game is actually incredibly hard, but it hasn't gotten to that point yet. So let's... These people are aggressive towards me, which means my devious means will be a bit more powerful. Well, or rather, I'll gain bonuses for being devious on them. As you can see here, I gained 25 grit. I don't truly understand what grip does yet, but yeah, there's a lot of statistics in this game that are kind of hard to comprehend all at once. I think I need to turn the game down just a little bit. Give me one moment. Let me just put that right there. That should be a little better. The game seems to be getting louder. Okay, that should do. Now let's kill one of the enemies, so we take a little less damage next turn. That should be good. Let's just end our turn and see what they do. Okay. Hit me with his big hammer, which they always seem to do. And he missed. That's good. Okay, so let's just finish him quickly. And I'll actually explain something else quickly. You might see aggressive and friendly, which are the only two things that I'm not doing in this encounter actually, are displayed here, with 3 counters. If I do an aggressive attack on him, it will give me 1 aggressive token in those 3 slots. This means that if I do 3 aggressive attacks, I will become aggressive in this fight, which wouldn't be beneficial to me. You get 1 token for each time you do an attack that's aggressive, or 2 tokens if you do an attack and kill someone. So you can actually kind of switch the mood. Say I'd be strongest in a fight devious, but I get the best reward if I'm aggressive. I could just do the last 2 attacks and get the kill aggressively, which would allow me to get the reward. So there's a little bit of strategy to the game in that regard. Yeah, I've never seen this. Some kids are playing medieval warriors on the hills, seemingly unaware of their homeland's rich Viking history. Agatha teaches them about the Vikings. The kids are impressed and start to play Vikings. They'll surely remember you. Okay, so now all of my characters have actually leveled up before I've even gotten to the end, which is pretty rare. So I'm going to go in here, and basically you choose one of 2 things each time. I can either go down the Beguiler perk, which I already have 2 of, so I think I probably will. It adds the Charms perk, which is probably going to help me charm people in encounters. Be a little more charming overall. I think I'll go with the survive list one for her, which adds tracking, just in case someone runs away or something. And that was also because she can get this perk, but I'm not sure if I want it. I think I actually will. This helps you in combat by being tactfully prepared for a fight, which helps you get better positioned, but I think I'm going to go for this perk, which will help me in encounters related to archaeology. A Viking boat, blah blah blah. The crew searches the hills and dales thoroughly until you spot in the distance an intact Viking boat. Just relaxing on the grass, you know, Viking boats do that. The crew rushes towards this amazing find. It will surely skyrocket your reputation as the renowned explorer society. The crew is stopped by a familiar face, the French explorer Reveille, #1 in the most promising explorers ranking. He laughs. Thank you, amateur. How very lucky you are to find this Viking boat just after me. Under Rule 24B of the Explorer Mandates, fellow explorers should help each other out, and I really need this treasure to affirm my #1 position. Your help will not be forgotten. Well, maybe. Explain that this is your treasure. Reveille continues, most unfortunate. Maybe you should talk to my most intelligent and diplomatic scientist, Lady Cassandra Shafix. I'm positive that she'll handle the situation with the utmost respect, while I take the vessel. Before Agatha can stop Reveille, his crew scientist, Cassandra, steps forward. Hello, fellow renowned explorers. Why such a hurry, no? Okay, and never mind. Let's discuss this matter at an easy, civilized pace. Yes? She's not letting you pass. So, I've basically been duped, and I have to fight her while he steals the treasure for his own renown. The entire game is actually literally about me trying to beat Reveille in a way. I need to become more famous than him. Not so much beat the crap out of him, though that would be very nice too. So because I leveled up, I actually got a new ability in all of my characters. She gains the Loudmouth ability, which I positioned myself terribly for, which basically hurts everyone 1 block around her. So I'm not going to do that just yet. Instead, I will do a devious attack on this enemy. He has very low health, you can tell because there's only 1 health marker on his health bar. And the mission for this, the goal for this mission is to kill the boss, which is her, and she has a lot more markers, which means she has effectively that much more health than everyone else. So I'm going to do the lecture attack, which is going to hurt everyone quite a bit here. And it also saddened all of them, which affects their stats. Their speech power has been lowered. And considering they're friendly, this means that they've effectively lost attack power. I'm not in a very good position. But it shouldn't matter. This is just the first real combat. It is not too difficult, and this should be resolved pretty easily. Okay, so she's doing friendly attacks, and it looks like she charmed me, which is a little unfortunate for me. I think that also lowers my speech defense drastically, actually. She made me arrogant, apparently, as well as charmed me, so I am minus 25 and minus 25. So she could probably be killed in one attack, actually, which is unfortunate. Let's move her back. I didn't know that attack had such a short range. Maybe I can just do a friendly attack. I can, and it will do a reasonable hit. Now she's charmed, and that, well, yes, she is charmed, and that gave her less speech defense. So I think my next move will be that I do this. Hopefully it doesn't overwrite the mood, but it almost certainly will. Yes, she's now enraged. Oh, no, I just completely erased her mood, so she's kind of nothing. I'm going to use Deride, which is her new ability, which is quite powerful. It's a 1-target, 2-tile range attack. It has a 4-turn cooldown, which all of the abilities past these 3 do. And if the target has negative mood, which she will after this, she loses a lot of defense, which means I really should have done this at first. But she's dead, so it doesn't matter. This fight is resolved. Okay, Cassandra appreciates it that you don't resort to violence. There were actually 3 ways you could have gone about this, but that was one of the better ways. She gave me a treasure map, which says that I could go to multiple ways and find what I want. A landmark on the map the locals might recognize. It points to a difficult-to-reach area, or it points to another Viking antiquary site nearby. That sounds the most renownful, so I'm just going to go there. I got a Nordic bracelet and some study. Nordic bracelet, only 25, so that's kind of sucky. 6 campaign and 2 collect, so let's just take that treasure. With this last find, your expedition still concludes on a high note. However, it is clear that if you want to be the most renowned explorer, you'll have to beat Rivelet. Now it's personal. Well, let's go back to London and go over the final bits of the game, so the next episode can be nothing more than gameplay, and I won't have to explain things annoyingly anymore. So now you can just see what the tokens are giving me in all 3 currencies you can spend, and now you'll see where I can spend them. Okay, so this is my renown. I am the 9th most known explorers group, and Rivelet is the first with 2,000, a huge lead on me. A magnificent job. The board of the Renowned Explorers International Society is impressed by your exploration skills in the Highlands. For this achievement, Chairman Pinkerton gives you an upgrade to your airship, which will allow you to carry more supplies. This happens every time you play the game. Okay, Renowned Explorers International Society upgrade badge. You gain 3 supply carry capacity. I'm stumbling over my words so much. Okay, so here they just explain a little more that I already know. Now this is the currency spending map, basically. There's a few things I can do. The 3 currencies are research, status, and gold. First, I'm going to spend my research on actual research, as you would expect. So I'm going to go down this tray. You can go down any of these trees, you unlock the badge, and then you steal the perks. So I'm going to go with this one, that it's just helpful overall for expeditions, and then I'm going to go for this, which is helpful for devious, which I am. So I'm going to take this, which is going to give me 2 study when a study job with insight is done on the map. I'll show you what that is soon too. Gain 1 insight every time you finish an expedition is huge, so I regenerate a little. Now I'm kind of broke, I can't afford anything. Next one is 30 research and I only have 12. So, let's go to spend the next currency, status, which is how well known you are. let's spend that on getting more study or research from studying. Or rather, the study tokens you get at the end of every fight. Now, I ran out of scientists, so I'm just going to upgrade this place. Get another one, and now I only have 51, so if I can't even upgrade. So let me grab a new type of person. Let's get more status from encounters. Okay, so now I have 1 status. That's spent. How you spend gold? You go to the shops, and as you'd expect, you buy items. So I'll sell my extremely junky defaults and put decent armor on all of my characters. It's not too expensive, so I can manage this. Can't afford much else, so I'm going to close that. Now, final type of currency is insight. You get this from doing your missions. I can spend them on these 3 places, and what I get is tokens. I can go here for collect tokens, here for status tokens, and here for research tokens. I usually go here for research tokens right now, especially because she's amazing at getting research as my scientist. So I get 5 tokens. You can see my research skyrocketing, which is going to help me greatly. Okay, I've only spent 2 of my 5 tokens, and I think I'm going to spend them all here. And I'm already at 100. And now I'm going to spend my final token. Go back to the research tree. And see how much I can get. Let's go to the research. Start every expedition with 1 tool which can be used to improve your status on the your chances on the adventure wheel. Now this gives me 2 of those, and this gives me 2 supply carry capacity, so I'll have 12 instead of 10 now. And now I'm sadly 4 short from getting this, because if I complete this tree, I get 1 extra token from each job when you spend insight on the world map. So that's kind of a beautiful little thing to get. So let's start my expedition. I'm out of all of my currencies. Okay. Now, these are the difficulties. 1 star, this is where I came from, and now 2 2-star ones. So I'm going to have to choose one next. But that is going to be in the next episode, which I'm going to be trying to get up tomorrow. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, like the video, whatever you like.